What's your name?
Went to Baylor. So I
When did you start?
Last night.
Oh, yeah.
I know you
Oh.
went to law school here.
I didn't know either. Yeah,
So when you were did your AT, so you can get a rundown of like what the rest of the schools.
I'm only impressed with the school room though, that they have some, it feels so real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like 3 or 4 of them at Baylor, but they weren't on like large.
Yeah,
We
this
had
is,
the bench and the stand and the tables for the mouse.
it's what I was at Cornell, and they did have one, they had like their move which was good, but it didn't have the benches, which honestly are nicer than the real course, because they have padding on them, so,
Yeah.
yeah. What brought you to Austin?
Just work. My younger sister was in the
That's
so it was nice to learn with her. You know, when we go, half the people go to Austin, people go to Dallas.
Yeah, I'm from Dallas, so
Okay,
I got the split.
I went to Dallas first. I was in Dallas for 2 years, and I wish I could.
Were you at SMU?
No, I mean, at law school. I was in practice out there.
Yeah, okay, where were you?
I lived downtown, and most of the time I go to Turin, so I had to be in Turin for Dallas.
Okay. Okay, what, were you at a farm or what were you doing?
Yeah, so this is a small family, my father's family.
Wow.
Something that grew up with them, like in high school. I was really close with him as a friend, so I was just like a friend with him.
And they were doing family law, or family practice?
Yeah, they were a family, and the dad was like, he was in his 60s, but then the son was in his 30s, and so the son was somewhat close to my age. I mean, a couple years older than me, but it was like, him and I would just go to the court like all the time.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. You still do family law? Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I like this.
Yeah, I guess this is,
It's,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know she's had it beforehand, I kind of just, I guess it's kind of amazing. But, yeah, it's, or I don't know, it's like funny having practice and then coming back to judge the problems, and it's just, it's like a different, or you have a better sense of context to like evaluate it versus when you're an undergrad and you don't like
Yeah.
necessarily see it.
so you practice now? Looking a lot of practice.
I'm a litigator at, it's a girls' school called Tristan
Okay.
in Austin.
Is it like civil, like business, commercial litigation?
Yeah, mostly.
Or is it just like hired guns to grow and
No, it's mostly, yeah, commercial litigation. But yeah, it's just like 10-ish attorneys, and so I think the cases you get is, they are technically corporate cases, but a lot of times it's just found your nose, so it's like, oh, this is a guy
Yeah.
has a corporation, but actually it's like a personal dispute, and they're, both their companies are suing each other, so it's, you know.
I was really hoping to do it. I was like, 6 other of these courtrooms
Yeah.
or whatever.
Seems like most of them are. Anyone who looks like they're a accountant.
Yeah, that's don't go to the law school.
No, we're not.
Okay, but so you've been around the law school?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it like other courtrooms like this? Is it like is the library like really nice?
Oh, yes, it's a very beautiful place. It's just not happening right now. It's really unfortunate because I think it's the only. I'm guessing you didn't go to it before.
No, I didn't go to UT. I didn't go to law school, but it's like so it's
So, where did you go to school?
Baylor.
Oh, nice.
So it's our building is probably very
Yeah. Museum. The first one I can spend an entire day eating, drinking, and going to the Washington Museum. It's like
Have you all been to, like, maybe not, like the Travis County courtroom?
I
Let's say this is like almost as nice as that
Really?
building, and they just built that building.
Oh,
the family law firm. That's a
Yeah, they
nice
just built
building.
it, and it's
It's
immaculate.
Well, they do actually trials.
Oh, really?
Like for instance, in April, the new Texas business did some hearings. And it's really nice because like, they'll do it during the week, and they set up a metal detector and security station right out there, and so the students can just come in. Like you don't have to sign up in advance. Like you just sign your name, go through security, and you can just watch live proceedings. It happens like once or twice a semester. It's great. But you can see this is a weird room because like the jury box is so much further to the left. This room is bench trial. And so it's kind of weird to do. So you're getting the evidence that you have to pay yourself 3 years for the siege. I think the only thing is just there's so much room to see stuff out. Like when we have new courts information. We have a 5-judge
But this interests you, you should go to the local building, because it's really nice every day.
beautiful.
It's a gorgeous building. That's why I like the like.
And I mean, not in the courtrooms, but the building just has so many windows and so much natural light. And I don't know if the courtrooms it's like all the festivals.
And like when you pull something up on the TV, like the projector comes down, all the lights like automatically dim when you share it on the screen. It's really
All right, are we all back? Jury box? Good. All right, are we all back at council tables?
Yes, Your Honor, the defense is back and ready to go.
Yes, Your Honor, the plaintiff's here ready to go.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Plaintiff, I believe it's to you. You may call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor, before we start, would it be okay if we read a piece of case law for Your Honor?
Yes, please go ahead.
Your Honor, we want to draw your attention to a piece of case law, Varma v. Blacklock. Let me know when you're there.
All right, I'm here.
Yes, Your Honor, this case law simply states that to determine whether a marriage is traditional love or contract marriage, one must look at the totality of the circumstances leading up to the wedding, conduct of the marriage itself, in determining whether a marriage is a contract marriage or not.
Okay.
This
Very
time
good.
we call the plaintiff Eli Bully to the stand.
Okay, just one moment, just is there any response from defense?
No, Your Honor, that's also our understanding.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you, plaintiff. You may go ahead. Ms. Foley, thank you.
May I proceed?
You may.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
Good afternoon. My name is Eli Bully.
Ma'am, can you tell them what you do for a living?
Yeah. I'm an artist. Mostly paint.
How'd you get into that?
My parents?
Ma'am, it's alright, can you tell us a bit more?
For my 10th birthday, my parents got me this paint set. It's pretty cheap. It's kind of the best they could afford at the time. You know, I wasn't artistic, so I didn't really know what to do with it. But they passed later that year, and I went back to it. Thought maybe it would make me closer with them, bring me back a bit. Yeah, I guess it just stuck.
Miss Foley, do you know why you're here today?
I divorced my husband, Tristan Nichols, and he cheated on me.
Ma'am, were you here during Miss Ferris's opening statement?
Yes, I was.
Ma'am, she said that you never kissed Tristan Nichols, that you guys never said, I love you, that you were seeing someone else. I want to give you a chance to respond. Is that true?
No. Look, I heard what they're saying, and it's true. It started off as a contract relationship, but by the time we were engaged, it was real. We said, I love you. I never saw anyone else. We kissed. We did more than that. I thought Tristan was the last man I'd ever be with.
Ma'am, were you in court when Mr. Sanders testified?
Yeah, I was here.
Did you hear him say that your marriage was a contract, that you cared about money and taking money from Mr. Nichols? Is that true?
No. I never said that to him. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, you heard him today. When he told me that he loved me, I didn't know what to do. We were friends. We were close. I didn't feel back. I'm sorry. And what's sick is he gets up here and tells some story about buying me peonies. I hate peonies. Never liked them. So, no. That wasn't true.
All right, then I want to start from the beginning, ma'am. How did you and the defendant meet?
We met at the Nichols family charity gala way back in 2021. We sort of just bumped into each other, started talking. It was nice, perfectly pleasant. Didn't think I'd see him again, honestly.
Did you?
Of course, right? Bumped into him at some coffee shop, started talking again. He asked me for my number. We started dating.
Ma'am, what happened the first time you and the defendant met up?
Tristan was honest with me. He told me that his parents, they were making him get married before he could become CEO of his company, of the Nichols Group. And I was honest back. I mean, I told him I was broke, that the money he had, it would change my life. So we agreed to keep seeing each other, you know? I mean, yeah, it was kind of like a business deal at first.
Did that ever change?
Yeah. Our conversations, I mean, they just started getting more personal. He told me about his time at boarding school. People picked on him because of his family. I told him about my parents. What it was like to grieve them. I'd never told anyone that before. Yeah.
And you said this was a business deal at first. Did you ever talk with the defendant about if things were changing?
I mean, I didn't want to say anything at first. I was nervous. But a month in, he looked over at me and he said, I think I'm falling in love with you. We started talking about getting engaged.
Ma'am, if it started out as a business deal, why did you get engaged?
Because I loved him. He made me feel loved. As an engagement gift, he bought me my own art studio, actually, where I could just go and paint whenever I wanted.
Were you at that studio often?
All the time. And whenever he was trying to put off work, he'd come by. asked me to teach him how to paint. And you know, at first he would always draw his sons in the corner of a page, you know, like little kids do when they're first learning how to do it. So I taught him how to draw real, you know, adult son in the center of the page. He started calling me his sunshine.
How was the wedding?
Had some really good moments. You know, we gave each other gifts in public in front of the cameras, but he pulled me aside after, and he pulled out the paint set that my parents had gotten me all those years back. He found the original. I don't know how, I don't know where he found it, but it felt like a part of them was there with me that day.
Ma'am, I want to talk about what your relationship with Tristan was like after marriage. Could you tell the members of the jury that?
First it was good, married life. But then he just started taking off. He wouldn't tell me where he was going, when he'd be back. I stopped asking questions, I guess.
At the time, did you know if anyone else was going on these trips with the defendant?
He told me he was alone. Obviously that wasn't true. Right.
And ma'am, I want to talk about when you decided to end things with this defendant. When was that?
It was the Nichols family gala, the end of last year.
Ma'am, tell us how that started.
Well, we went together, and honestly, I was just happy to be with him, happy to spend time with him, happy to have him. But you know, half an hour in, he says he's going to get us drinks. He just leaves.
Do you know where he went?
No, I'm trying to figure it out, right? And I get a call. I get a phone call. You know, it's Tristan. I pick it up. I think he's probably trying to figure out where I am.
What did he say on the call?
Well, he didn't say anything at first. But I heard someone else's voice, a man. And he said, Tris, I want to be with you for real this time.
Did Mr. Nichols say anything back?
He said, I know. I love you too, sunshine. I made a mistake. I should have married you.
Ma'am, did you recognize that voice on the phone?
Yeah, it was his ex-boyfriend, Gail. I mean, you heard Gail talk about it today.
Did you ask Mr. Nichols about that conversation you overheard?
No. But I knew I needed to figure out the truth. So, you know, Gail reached out, and I mean, he told me everything.
Ma'am, were you here during Mr. Melki's cross-examination?
I was, yes.
Did you hear him say that when you heard about the news, you said it was a deal? What did you mean by that?
I was talking about the prenup and the cheating clause. That was the one thing I asked him to include. That was the deal.
Thank you, ma'am. No further questions at this time. Cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Ma'am?
You may.
Good afternoon, Miss Bully.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I want to start by talking about what we can agree on in this case.
Okay.
Ma'am, we can agree your husband was seeing other people, right?
Yeah, we can agree.
Ma'am, today on this stand, you got pretty emotional talking about that fact, true?
Yeah.
Ma'am, you can agree that fact hasn't always been so upsetting to you, has it?
It's always been upsetting to me.
It's always been upsetting? That's what you're telling us today?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you were here when Gail Melki took the stand, right? The actor?
Yeah, the actor.
The witness that your own attorneys called to the stand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You were here when he told us about a conversation that you had when this jury wasn't there to listen, right?
Yes.
You heard him talk about it, how in that conversation, well, you didn't seem as upset as you are today, right?
Another man was telling me that he was sleeping with my husband. I was in shock. I needed some time to process.
Oh, hold on,
I guess I've
ma'am.
been thinking about it for the last 6 months.
Hold on, ma'am, because the eyewitness that your attorneys called to the stand didn't say that you looked like you were in shock, right?
I don't know if he said that.
You know that he said you didn't look upset at all. That's what that witness said.
I think he might have said something like that. I don't know exactly what he said about me. I'm sorry.
You weren't paying attention for the witness that your attorneys called to the stand?
I don't think he said I wasn't upset at all, ma'am.
Well, we have the record. We'll see about that. Ma'am, you also
Objection,
remember how...
argumentative.
Withdrawn, Your Honor. But you also remember what he said about the conversation you two had, right? What you said to each other.
That day, that same conversation, ma'am?
You'd agree that his conversation, the conversation he told us about, that happened, right?
Yes.
Ma'am, you heard how he said in that conversation you didn't say anything about love, right?
No, not to the man my husband was having an affair with, no.
No, instead, you said you were just disappointed he couldn't keep the deal going on for longer, right?
The prenup, the infidelity clause. I trusted him.
So, ma'am, no, you didn't say, well, I'm so sad that he cheated on me.
No, not to Gail.
Not that you were disappointed that he cheated on you.
No,
Just disappointed that he couldn't keep the deal going on, right?
the prenup with the clause, ma'am. Yes.
Ma'am, you keep on saying prenup in front of the jury. When they weren't here, your words were deal. That's how you described it.
Sure, when they weren't here.
Ma'am, what we can agree on is that this relationship started off as a contract marriage. At the very least, we agree on that, right?
It started off as a contract relationship, yes.
Ma'am, you said on direct examination that, well, it was kind of like a business deal. That's how you described it, right?
At first, yes.
Ma'am, he was upfront with you. He told you he wanted a contract marriage.
Yes.
And it's your testimony today that by the time you walked down the aisle, well, that marriage, that was real relationship, right?
Yeah, it was real love.
Ma'am, you were here when your attorneys gave their opening statements, true?
Yes.
You were here when they said you were happy walking down that aisle, right?
Yes.
Ma'am, the truth is you hated your wedding.
I guess it wasn't exactly what I pictured. I didn't hate it.
Ma'am, for years, you had dreamed of a wedding, a close ceremony with all of your closest friends, right?
That's what I originally thought about, yeah.
For years, that's what you had imagined.
Yes.
Instead, your actual wedding was a worldwide media phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
A worldwide media phenomenon specifically for publicity, right?
Not specifically for publicity, ma'am.
It's
We were
not your
getting married.
testimony that you had a worldwide media publicity, a worldwide public marriage specifically for publicity?
The point of the wedding was to get married. The reason why we had it in a big venue was for publicity, yes.
Ma'am, this isn't the first time you've been asked about this case, is it?
No.
You remember sitting for a deposition, true?
Yes, ma'am.
And you remember in that deposition, you were asked about that wedding, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see what you said about it then. Ma'am, they were asking you whether or not your actual wedding was the wedding of your dreams, right?
Yes, ma'am. I told them it was at a big venue for publicity, but the point of the wedding was to get married to Tristan.
They asked why you had such a lavish wedding, right?
Yes.
You said you had such a lavish wedding specifically for publicity. Those were your words.
A lavish wedding for publicity. Yes.
Ma'am, this lavish wedding, it was expensive, right?
Yeah.
So expensive, not even your best friends could come.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you're saying this relationship was real, that you loved each other, that he loved you. But he didn't even let your best friends come to your wedding?
He didn't not let them come. Ash just didn't show up.
Ma'am, that's not what you said in your deposition, is it?
I said Ash didn't come to the wedding, ma'am.
You said that he couldn't make it because he couldn't afford it. Those were your words.
Yes, but Tristan didn't let him not come.
Ma'am, I want to be clear here. When exactly did you get married to the defendant?
We got married in August, ma'am.
What day?
August 7th,
So that means you've been married for what, 4 years, right?
3.5.
3.5 years of this totally real relationship where you loved each other. You never went on a single date.
We did go on dates.
Ma'am, I'm not talking about in front of the cameras in public. I mean a date, just the two of you in private. How many times did you have one of those dates?
After we got engaged, we went on on private dates, ma'am.
So before you got married, you never went on a private date, just the two of you.
No, but we had personal moments on those dates. He'd pull me aside, find a private bench.
Ma'am, you're saying that after that marriage you went on dates, you don't have any pictures from those dates?
I mean, I have thousands of pictures of Tristan in my camera roll. I
Where
wish
are
I
they?
deleted them.
You've deleted them?
Guess I just don't want to look at it anymore.
You didn't give those to your attorneys as evidence?
I don't have them.
Can't show us text saying that you loved him?
I was married to him for 4 years, 3.5 years. I have thousands of texts with him.
Do we have any of them in court?
I didn't bring them, no.
Did you show them to your attorneys?
No, I mean, I have thousands of texts with him. I'd have to go through them.
You didn't show them?
No, ma'am.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor. We ask that she be excused.
All right, thank you for your testimony. You may step down. And defense, when you're ready, you may call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the defense calls Mr. Tristan Nichols to the stand. May I proceed?
You may.
Good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Good afternoon. My name is Tristan Nichols. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm currently the CEO of my family's company, the Nichols Family Group.
Are you married?
As you heard, I am. I'm married to Eli Bewley.
Sir, let's give the jury a chance to learn a little bit more about you. What does your firm do?
We're one of the largest food conglomerates in the country. You know, we specialize in condiments, some American classics, you know, ketchup, barbecue, even some more ethnic flavors, you know, lemon sauce for tabbouleh. We do a lot.
How did you get involved into this company?
I can't really remember a time that I wasn't involved. You know, I'm the oldest son of a big family. My mom was CEO. I was kind of always bound to take over one day.
Was that what you always wanted?
No, to be honest, I mean, as a kid, I acted out a lot. I got into fights in boarding school. I would skip classes in college. If you've ever seen Succession, I was pretty much trying to do everything I could to get out of it.
So then why'd you end up taking the role of CEO?
Mom had a health scare. You know, she had early stage Alzheimer's, but then she got sepsis, and sepsis turned into shock, and she went comatose for a few weeks. By some miracle, she woke up. I had a lot of time to think about, you know, life and legacy. I told Mom I'd do it.
How'd your mother respond?
And in a lot of ways, she wasn't really herself anymore, but in other ways, she still was. I mean, she said she wanted to see me get my life together before she'd let me take over the company, that she wanted me to get married.
Were you ready to get married?
I've never really been good with love and relationships, so no, I mean, there was so much I'd want to change about myself before getting married, but I was worried the timeline was too short for Mom. So I did what I could.
Sir, let's be clear. Were you trying to marry for love?
No. My understanding was that I just had to get married and please Mom, and that was it.
Alright, so what did you do?
I first started dating a family friend, an actor, Gail. I kind of regretted that. He's a very charming guy, very nice on the surface, but kind of the type of guy that suddenly, I don't know, kind of changes personality. A type that's kind of rude to waitstaff. I just didn't like that.
So how long did your relationship with Mr. Melki last?
Started dating during the pandemic, and then I broke up with him in February 2022.
So then how'd you move and find the plaintiff?
Eli was actually one of the waitstaff that Gail was rude to. We had this big family gala, and well, Eli spilled some champagne on Gail, and Gail berated her, and so I felt bad. I went looking for her, and she was crying in a supply closet. Tried to console her. We were around a lot of art. I started talking about my favorite pieces. We had Scott Tubby's, pastels, and then she told me she was an artist.
When was the next time you two saw each other after that?
A week later, I was in the arts district. I love to go there and was trying to get away from paparazzi. They're always kind of on my tail, and Eli helped them get away from me. I kind of really appreciated that. I really liked that.
Why did you marry the plaintiff specifically?
I thought it was kind of a, two birds, one stone situation. Eli was struggling in their career in art, and they needed a sponsor, and I needed somebody who understood my life, who, could let me be CEO and please my mother. I thought it was a win-win.
Mr. Nichols, why not just marry for love?
I knew I wasn't ready for that yet, and I don't mean to be blunt, but I didn't love Eli, and she knew that. We entered into an arrangement, a business arrangement. We were very, very clear with each other. I liked her. I gave her a good wedding. My vows, they were short, but I didn't want to overstate anything. We were very, very clear.
All right, you didn't love her. Did you like her at least?
Of course I did. I care a lot about Eli. I respect her artwork a lot. But there was nothing behind closed doors with her. We were very upfront about our arrangement.
Sir, after you two got married, how often did you guys even see each other?
Every now and then, we had events every year. We had, art galas that we hosted. I saw her there. But, we wouldn't regularly stay with each other. We wouldn't go out together. It wasn't that type of relationship.
Sir, let's take a step back. Earlier, the plaintiff said that there were lots of text messages between you two. I want to be clear, did you two ever text "I love you" to each other?
No, I didn't want to confuse her feelings. I was upfront with her from the very start. She was upfront with me from the very start. I love you wasn't part of the equation.
What about taking pictures together in private? When the plaintiff said that happened, is that true?
Not that I know of, no.
Sir, earlier the plaintiff also was saying that you were physically intimate during your marriage with someone named Mr. Melki. Is that true?
Yes, and I don't mean to be crude about it, but it was a physical relationship, you know, it's kind of it.
Sir, earlier the plaintiff characterized it as a secret affair. Is that true?
Secret to the paparazzi, you know, for the company's image, couldn't have that going out, but it wasn't a secret to Eli. I mean, you heard it from her today that when she heard about this, she wasn't surprised at all. She knew about Gail. It was no secret. I mean, I just don't get it, Eli. Like, when are you going to stop lying about this? When are you going to tell them about how we met before the wedding and I showed you the vows and how we laughed about them, how they were going to convince my mother.
As to the statement, when are you going to stop lying about this?
Overruled. Sir, as you were saying?
I showed her the vows before the wedding. We laughed about them. Said that Mom is going to totally get sold by this. I mean, I don't understand. You know, I'm not even mad that maybe you want my money. I don't care. But when we were so clear with each other from the start, and now you're just changing up on me? I mean, what's going on here?
Sir, the plaintiff said that you two had loved each other. Is that true?
I care for Eli. I do. When you were sick, I took care of you. When you were struggling, I supported you. But this was nothing more than a contract, and she knew.
Thank you, sir. Nothing further.
Plaintiff, when you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
You may.
So the truth is, to walk out of these doors with $3 billion, you have to convince this jury that your relationship, your marriage, was fake. Isn't that true?
Sorry. Good afternoon, and no, I didn't have to convince him of anything. Our marriage was fake.
Hold on, sir. Before you walk through these doors, your mom, she sat you down, she said, win this lawsuit or you're out as CEO. You remember that, right?
Mom kept saying she was gonna put the board together. Kept talking about, you know, Alex and Michael and Drew, but Alex and Michael and Drew, they haven't been on the board for years. Man, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Not my question. Your mom said, win this lawsuit or you're out as CEO. That's a yes.
That's right.
Sir, you're willing to do anything to stay as CEO. That's a yes.
Within the rules of the law, of course.
Within the rules of the law, sir, your words were, I'm willing to do anything to win this lawsuit, and I mean anything. You remember saying that, right?
I said that in my deposition, correct?
Lying, that's anything, isn't it?
No, that's not within the limit of the law. I'm not here to break my oath.
Sir, you have a history of lying, isn't that true?
In what context?
Sir, you remember in your deposition saying, I have a history of lying, yes or no?
Talking about old girlfriends and boyfriends when I was younger, I wasn't a good partner back then.
You used to lie to ex-girlfriends,
I did.
ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ashamed of it, and it's not the person I am today, but it's true.
Your own mother.
Yeah.
So, sir, if that's your track record, let's talk about if we can trust the story you're telling us today. Because on direct examination, you testify that from start to end, your relationship with Miss Bully was a contract, right?
That's true.
Just business.
That's exactly right.
That at no point did you develop feelings for her.
No.
That you were upfront with her, that you were very clear at every point in time, this is business, nothing more.
That's right. I mean, she told you from the start this was business.
Sir, let's talk about if that matches what you've said in the past. Now, do you see that exhibit binder? Could you flip to the very last page, exhibit 7 for me?
Just give me a moment. All right, I'm with you.
Sir, these are your vows.
They are.
You personally wrote them.
Yeah, I showed them to Eli before we even said them out loud.
They haven't been changed or altered in any way?
No, it all fit on one page.
Move to enter exhibit 7.
Any objection? No objections. All right. Exhibit 7 has been entered.
Sir, were you here when Miss Ferris said on her opening statement, you've never said I love you to Miss Bully? Were you here for that?
Right.
On your direct examination, you said I've never said I love you to Miss Bully. You repeated that. Did I get that right?
Well, organically, I've never said I love you, but this was all fabricated together.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. When you said it on direct, you didn't say I've never organically said I love you. Your words were I've never said I love you, period. Did I get that right?
I mean, yeah, of course not.
Sir, these vows, you wrote in them, I promise to stand by you to be your safe harbor. Did I read that right?
Yeah,
You said I fall in love with you more and more every day.
we really needed to sell this wedding, not just to the paparazzi. To be honest, I didn't even care about that much, but to my mother. She, you know, at the end of her life, that I don't think I was happy. Think that this was real.
So you're saying that's just business?
Yes, ma'am. We had to sell this for the paparazzi the same way we had planned photo shoots. Did you forget about those, Eli? When the photographer would tell you where to put your hands, where I would put my hands, huh?
Sir, I'm gonna
We
ask
never
you
even
not to
kissed
address my
adults,
client.
did we?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sustain that. Let's go ahead and just answer the question.
I'm sorry.
We don't need to address the other witnesses. Thank you.
Sir, have you ever heard the expression actions speak louder than words?
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at your actions. Because on direct examination, you didn't say these vows were for publicity. I wrote it down. You said, I didn't want to overstate anything.
Exactly, because I didn't love her.
You said you kept it short, sweet, light, right?
How would you feel if your vows fit on one page? I mean, it was as short and sweet as it got.
I know the weight you carry from losing your parents. But instead of letting that grief harden you, you've let it teach you to love. Sir, you said that.
I did.
Sir, do you know how personal that is?
Of course I do. I'm not pretending that I don't know Eli or that I don't care about her.
No, sir. You said you didn't want to overstate anything. This was just business. You talked about her dead parents and how she grieved them in those vows.
Well, that was something the public kind of already knew when we started seeing each other. The paparazzi digs up kind of everything, so her parents were no secret.
Sir, that's not my question. That's what you said in those vows.
Exactly.
Sir, the same day you said those vows, you pulled Miss Bully aside, gave her a paint set that her parents gave her before she died, yes?
Yeah, you can do a lot of things when you have a lot of money.
You did it when there was no one else around.
Sure?
And to do that, you brought the manufacturing company that made the paint set and rated it just for Miss Bully.
I mean, I don't understand what's unclear here. Our arrangement was about business to promote her art career, and then I get her a gift in art. It was all about that from the start.
Sir, that's not my question. When no one was around, you bought a company to give her that paint set, yes?
You're right.
And that was just business.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, no redirect if the witness can be excused.
Yes, thank you for your testimony, you may be excused. Alright, we got the thumbs up from the bailiff, so we're gonna submit ballots, and then I suppose wait for the all clear. right?
Just let me know once all of y'all have submitted ballots, and then we can go into feedback.